Picture this. It's barely dawn. You haven't finished your first coffee, and a dozen lenses are already tracking your every blink. A car door slams, someone shouts your name, the flashbulbs pop, and before breakfast, the internet has decided whether you look tired, moody, or totally losing it. Most of us would crumble under that heat, but for A-list actors, it's just another Tuesday. And that's exactly why Ben Affleck, battle-scarred from years in the spotlight, says he can't shake the empathy he feels for Britney Spears. On the podcast this past weekend with Theo Von, Affleck, now 52 years old, and according to friends, open to dating someone new, broke into a rare moment of raw honesty. I used to feel a great deal of sympathy for Britney, he admitted, stressing that they'd never really hung out. Yet the headlines still haunted him. He'd watch the footage just like the rest of us, but through the warped glass of his own experience. Every chaotic clip of Spears, chased by cameras, reminded him of the caravans parked outside his driveway, the voices yelling questions nobody could answer without exploding. Cycle after cycle, whipping everything into a tizzy, he said, voice low, almost tired. But that feeling didn't appear in a vacuum. Ben had witnessed a superstorm long before, and what he saw back then would change the way he looks at fame forever. On Theo Von's show, Ben painted a brutal picture. It's like waving a stick at a tiger, then filming the moment it snarls. That, he argued, is the hidden half of every viral meltdown. Viewers only see the outburst, not the poking. Each click funds another poke. Each headline pays another paparazzo to lean closer, louder, nastier. He calls it a kind of collective cruelty, an unintentional culture that profits from pain. Other stars have felt those sticks. Remember Leave Britney Alone, sad Keanu on a bench, Princess Diana hounded through Paris. Different faces, same business model. The audience keeps wondering why the tiger looks angry. Few notice the prods from behind the cage bars. And when the internet turned its lens on Affleck, the prodding got personal. London, 2016. Affleck leans against a wall, cigarette dangling, eyes somewhere else. One photographer snaps a frame. Within hours, it's everywhere. Dubbed the Sad Ben photo, the meme metastasizes tote bags, reaction gifs, comedy sketches. A single moment of exhaustion becomes a permanent identity card the web hands out on loop. Affleck later joked he must have a resting bark face, but beneath the laugh, you can hear the bruise. For every meme share, there's an echo. Look, he's miserable again. Never mind that nobody looks ecstatic while chain-smoking between interviews. The internet had crowned him king of gloom. And memes, as Ben learned, aren't just harmless jokes, they're currency. Advertisers slap them on content. Gossip channels milk watch time. Your sadness becomes their sponsored segment. Actors survive by selling illusion. The more an audience forgets the face behind the role, the deeper they sink into the story. Now imagine heading to a cinema to watch The Accountant 2, and instead of seeing the stoic assassin Christian Wolf, you only see sad Ben with a cigarette. Affleck says that disconnect kills the magic. If people think they know you from a photo yesterday, they won't believe the character today. He describes each red carpet flash as an erosion one chip off the suspension of disbelief. Eventually, you're not Batman, not a medieval knight, not an astronaut. You're just that guy who looked grumpy buying Dunkin'. For moviegoers, it's a fleeting distraction. For the actor, it's $1 million handicap. Worse, overexposure breeds resentment. See too much of a face, and familiarity curdles into contempt, Ben warns. He can feel it when strangers glare, convinced he somehow demanded their attention when all he really wanted was a quiet lunch run. And if the public microscope distorts your art, it absolutely incinerates your love life. January closed the chapter. Paperwork finalized. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez officially split. Insiders whisper he's not giving up on love, but determined to dodge another high-profile romance. Friends tease that he's browsing dating apps under an alias. Tabloids float names from Hollywood stylists to a certain mystery screenwriter. Nothing verified, only that Affleck's circle insist he wants peace, not paparazzi stampedes. Reports claim he's struggled to meet the right type of woman, because what's a normal date when TMZ logs your coffee order? One source says he's eyeing art galleries and charity events venues where folks care more about canvases than clickbait. Rumors suggest some potential matches are put off by constant attention. And who could blame them? Every dinner reservation risks trending on X within minutes. Still, romance drama pales next to the $68 million elephant in the room. At the heart of the Beverly Hills skyline stands a massive 38,000 square foot mansion complete, with 12 bedrooms and 24 bathrooms. Ben and Jennifer initially bought the luxurious estate for $60.8 million in cash, but nearly a year later, the property has yet to sell. With an asking price of $68 million, it's clear the mansion's price tag is starting to feel unrealistic. Real estate experts have weighed in, suggesting the home is significantly overpriced, especially given the current market climate. The looming costs, such as insurance rates, which have skyrocketed due to California wildfires, don't help either. Sources say Ben is eager to lower the asking price and finally let go of the house that symbolizes the end of a chapter, but Jennifer remains reluctant to cut the price. For Affleck, it's more than just a property deal. It represents a personal struggle. He's reportedly frustrated by the constant tie to his past marriage. With the divorce finalized, the house is one last reminder of a relationship constantly in the public eye. All Ben wants is to sell it and move on. But Jennifer, hoping to fetch a higher price, is holding firm. The property's fate now rests in their hands, with the real estate market and a complicated emotional attachment holding everything up. Whether the house finally sells at the asking price or gets a substantial cut, one thing is clear. The legacy of their high-profile relationship still lingers in the walls of that mansion. Ben Affleck's empathy for Britney Spears isn't some Hollywood sound bite. It's a veteran recognizing the scars on another survivor. He saw a young woman caged by camera flashes and felt the bruise on his own skin. He knows memes can be prisons, headlines can weaponize heartbreak, and multi-million-dollar mansions can become anchors. So next time a viral photo rockets across your feed, whether it's Britney dancing in her foyer or Ben grimacing over iced coffee paws, ask yourself, did someone poke the tiger first? Is this news or just a new flavor of entertainment served on a silver screen of somebody's pain? Because the spotlight is bright, sure. It feeds our curiosity, lights up red carpets, funds blockbuster dreams. But stare too long, prod too hard, and that same light scorches. Where do you draw the line between healthy interest and plain intrusion? Scroll down, weigh in, and remember, a single click can either fuel the frenzy or start a smarter conversation. So, the next time you come across a viral moment, whether it's a tabloid headline or a meme, it's worth pausing to ask yourself, what's the real story behind the snapshot? Is it just another clickbait sensation? Or is there a person behind that photo whose life has been turned upside down by the glare of the spotlight? At the end of the day, we all play a part in this larger conversation. The media creates the frenzy, but it's the audience that keeps it going. So, where do we draw the line between genuine interest and intrusion? Let's make sure we're not just passive consumers of drama, but also aware of the impact we're having. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.